I remember valeting the car at the hospital because I only thought it would be a couple hours. I didn't really have any idea how bad it really was. But I got better for like maybe 2 weeks. Basically, they fixed the lung problem, but I was still dying from a heart problem. If I had to go up a set of stairs, I would definitely only make it about halfway and have to sit down and get my kind of breathing under control and then make it for the last set. It was rough. I think it became very clear to everyone, including myself, of what the possible outcomes were going to be, and even what the probable outcomes were going to be from all of this. My aunt met a gentleman. He had this kind of one of those medical malpractice horror stories, and you know how he'd received all this money, and because of it, he chose to go to one of the better heart surgeons and get it all fixed. But my aunt told him what I was going through and how hard it was for me navigating the state medical system. He called his doctor. His doctor was very interested. We forwarded over all my stuff. They called me in. Within a couple weeks, I had an exploratory surgery to prove that I needed the heart surgery. USC admitted me into their cardiothoracic unit, and they performed a 6 or 7 hour open heart surgery to alleviate and try and fix the problems associated with a very rare condition called calcified constrictive pericarditis. I was told that they cut and scraped 2 different layers of solid calcium off my heart. That was a wild surgery. I didn't think I was gonna make it out of that one. 9 days after they took my heart out of my chest, they released me from USC because it was that night and day. On basically, it was like my heart, nothing was ever wrong with it before. I guess the regret that I have is that immediately following that, I just went back to work. I'm here because I've gotten a second chance at life. I'm here because doctors stepped in and cheated death on my behalf. So, what do you want to do? I'm going to celebrate not dying by going to the Himalayas and pushing my heart and pushing my lungs and pushing my will and everything that I am farther than I ever have before. So that's what doing the Himalayas is. It's going to live my life like I never have before, like I was never able to before. And to push myself like I never could have. And to do it because it's hard and because I can for the first time in my life. Why do I want to use GoPro? Besides the fact that they're the best? Well, I already bought one GoPro. That's actually in the mail already, and that's coming here. So I'm gonna have a GoPro camera for the Himalayas, but I only have one. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for GoPro to sponsor this and to loan me the additional equipment to make sure that I'm able to capture as much of this trip as possible. I think if I'm gonna go to the Himalayas and celebrate not dying from a lung complication or not dying during a heart surgery, if I'm gonna do all that by going to the Himalayas and experiencing life up there in some of the harshest climates, then I'm gonna have to record that. Now I'm just asking GoPro to take the last couple steps to make this dream possible for me. I'm asking for 2 extra cameras. One to provide my Sherpa, basically my guide while I'm in the Himalayas, so that there's a different perspective. not just my own. And another camera, if nothing else, just as a backup in case. In case. We're walking in the Himalayas. We're walking over peaks at 15,000 feet. I can't go there with one camera and then 2 days into it somebody trips and falls, and well, the next 24 days I don't get to film. But more importantly than any of that, I'm asking GoPro to provide the batteries that I'm gonna need to film such a trip. I need batteries for 6 hours a day of filming for 3 weeks. I'm not going to be in an area where I can charge a GoPro or where I can charge any batteries. There's no electrical outlets where I'm going to be. I'm going to do time-lapse shots of sunsets and sunrises where the sun's coming in on top of the Himalayas and setting all around you. There's this town called Pokhara. And Pokhara is a lake surrounded by hills, and it creates world-class thermals that make it one of the best spots in the world to paraglide in. So I'm going to go paragliding in Pokhara, Nepal. But they do something interesting in Pokhara. They do something called para-hawking, where you paraglide with gloves in your hands and food, and these hawks, these raptors, these bird of prey, soar along with you while you're riding the thermals on your paraglider. They land in your hand and they eat out of your hand while you're soaring through the sky. They lead you through the thermals. I mean, it's the Himalayas. It's the roof of the world. It's one of the most beautiful and yet inhospitable places in the entire planet. Why wouldn't I want to use an HD camera to document this? And since I'm not a filmmaker and I don't want to spend my time behind a camera, why wouldn't I get a GoPro so that I don't have to worry about holding a camera? And I don't have to worry about somebody else shooting something. I can just strap it on something and turn it on and go.